Caregivers are often part of a team that help to make the home run smoothly and make sure that clients receive the best care. Each caregiver needs to fulfill their responsibilities. When you begin working, it will be important to know what your responsibilities are and how to best carry them out. What's equally important is getting to know the other workers who make up your shift or team and communicating with them. Professional caregivers are extremely important to the day-to-day operation of the home, in addition to being important to the clients themselves. When you are scheduled to work, the entire team is depending on you to be there, including the clients who depend on you for their basic care. When staff calls off, it slows the whole team down and often makes it harder to get the job done. The members of the care team will vary depending on the size of the agency and the needs of the client. When a team works well together, it can provide better and more comprehensive care for a client than staff members working separately. Good teams have the following traits. They are able to work together toward a common goal of providing the best care possible for clients. They communicate well with each other and their clients. They support each other in caring for the client. They are able to share responsibility and do what needs to be done with a great attitude. They are striving to improve through continual learning and growth. The team also includes the older adult, their families, such as the spouse and adult children, your supervisor, the agency, and also probably others, including a nurse, therapist, and your client's physician. It is important to know when to call these other team members for help and to have excellent communication skills. Some of the best ways to create great communication among a care team means having some of these systems in place. A good care plan that everyone is able to add to and comment on. A whiteboard or central whiteboard where a caregiver can leave updates and messages, post-its, or ways of leaving messages for others on the care team. No matter what systems that you have in place, make sure that everyone on the team has access to the system and is able to update it regularly. You will often be by yourself when working, so it may sometimes feel like you are alone or like you are not part of a team. But you're not alone. You are part of a care team that must work together to provide the best possible care. Knowing that you're not alone should help you feel even more satisfied with your job. You see more than anyone else about what is going on with your client. You are responsible for contacting your supervisor to get the help any client needs. You need good observation skills and good communication skills to relay the information you observe about your client to other members of the team. You need to follow these steps. Watch for changes. Notice changes that may signal the need for special attention or additional care. Report all changes, including changes in a client's needs. Reporting is when you verbally communicate observations and actions to your supervisor. This helps other members of the team keep up with your client. If you are in doubt, it's always better to report something and always better to check if something is within your scope of practice, and always better to ask for help than not ask. That puts you at risk and also your agency in possible danger. Document carefully. Documenting is the written record of what happened, what you did, and how the patient reacted. The other word for documenting is charting. If it isn't written down or documented, it's like it wasn't done. It can be very important to protect you legally, so make sure you write down everything. Use ink and neatly write everything that you did and any changes in the older adult's condition and whether you informed anyone, like your supervisor. Write down what you did or didn't do that is written in the care plan. Sign and date all your documentation. Make sure that you communicate regularly with your supervisor and the caregivers on the shifts before and after yours so that care transitions can be made smoothly. Finally, let's discuss an essential tool for effectively doing your job: the care plan. The care plan is the tool that helps you to understand how to care for each of your clients who live in the home. The plan also informs the other members of your professional caregiving team about the services that each client will need. It is your direct line of communication with other members of your care team. Think of it as a recipe card or blueprint for how to care for each client. Anyone should be able to pick up a care plan and know just how to care for the client. That is why they are so critical. The agency that hires you will specifically outline the tasks you are responsible for accomplishing while on your shift, or the special needs and services for each client. This includes medical, dental, vision, hearing, and mental health services. It explains the client's ability to take their medications and how staff should assist. The plan will explain if the client needs help to walk, bathe, or dress, and the type of help he or she needs. The plan will also explain the social activities and other services that are specially designed for each client. The care plan must be accessible by direct care staff persons at all times. You need to understand your client's care plan. A care plan is created specifically for each client and describes exactly what services should be provided. Included in the care plan may also be two important terms that you may not be familiar with. One is DNR status. DNR stands for Do Not Resuscitate or Do Not Attempt Resuscitation. This refers to the older adult's end-of-life wishes and whether or not they would like CPR and a breathing machine if their heart stopped or if they stopped breathing. Attempted resuscitation may, in many situations with older, ill adults, cause pain and suffering with little chance of recovery, so many older adults may request DNR. The second term is power of attorney, healthcare proxy, or HCP for short, or healthcare agent. This is the person that the older adult has legally designated to be their substitute decision maker should they not be competent to make their own healthcare decisions. This may not be their next of kin or even a relative. It is important to follow the older adult's directions when performing tasks, even if you know a better way. Plans may also change depending on his or her needs or health status. The care plan usually lists general tasks for what tasks need to be done. For example, cleaning the kitchen or washing the clothes. Follow the care plan. If an older adult wants you to do something that is not listed in the care plan, you need to contact your supervisor. You may be held liable if you do something for the older adult that is not on the care plan and an accident occurs. With some services, you are only allowed to perform a certain scope of tasks for the older adult and not for their family. For instance, running errands. The best way to stay organized is to make a list of tasks that needs to be done based on the care plan. Ask the older adult to prioritize the tasks that need to be done. Ask them which ones are most important. If the older adult lists more tasks than what can be accomplished in your allotted time, see if you can speak with them about what can be done on another day.
Hmm. Was I listening? Let's fucking go. Ah, shit.
Being part of a care team and life as a caregiver can be exhausting. More importantly, the very thing that makes you a great caregiver, your level of empathy, can also make you neglect your own self care in order to prioritize others, especially your client. If you don't make self care a priority, no one else will do it for you. How do you know when you're at risk for compassion fatigue? The mental signs of caregiver stress or compassion fatigue may include recurring and intrusive thoughts such as paranoia, feelings of guilt or suicidal thoughts, limited attention span, difficulty concentrating, poor work performance, or you may become easily irritated or frustrated. Physical signs of caregiver stress include flare ups of high blood pressure, diabetes, headaches, backaches, chest pains, stomach problems, trouble sleeping, change in appetite, chronic tiredness, or substance abuse. A willingness to get help is the most important part of managing caregiver stress. Find small ways to take a break while on the job and get some exercise. If possible, take walks with your client or take a moment to take a breath if you feel anxious or out of control. Make friends with other caregivers and make your client's care team a part of your own support group. Your employer may have moments for you to get together and let off steam. Your support group may even be your family or church, but find a way to get
Church.
help. Set clear boundaries
Checked.
and maintain limits. This is really important. Know what your job limits are and keep your work within work hours. Clients and families shouldn't be calling you outside of your work hours. If that happens, let your supervisor know. Know that you are doing important work and think about how it must feel like to suffer the disabilities and inconveniences your older adult client does. But even as you do this, know that it is your job and not your family. When you leave work, it's important to then focus on yourself and family to keep yourself well and to have work and personal life balance.
Damn, I think it said, did it say headaches? I think it said headache. Bam. Yeah. A willingness to get help is the most important part of managing creative stress. True. Which is the following can help you manage creative stress. I did hear him say that. Come on, man. Let's go, man. Let's fucking go, man. Put me at like 65. 72? 67. I'll take that. Let's go. Shit. Next module. What we got? Post class who what did was said or who did what for the what? I put that I comment they feel that he can still describe what it means to be a person. Fuck you mean? that go to? That was crazy. Damn, I could take it up to 12 times. Oh, fuck. I don't remember nothing, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Start this shit, bitch. Let's go. Shit, it need to be both of them. That and arriving to work on time. see. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? 12:16. Let's go. Which is a communication tool that is used between agents and professional caregivers. Insurance plan, communication plan, care plan, which is communication tool that is used between agents and professional caregivers. Man, if you just, hey, bro, I was just thinking about some shit, man. I'm really doing this shit, man. This shit crazy. Alright, you're going 15 minutes late for this shit. What should you do? Sometimes I just get stuck in the day till I be thinking about shit, man. That should be crazy. Contact that shit. Phone a friend if you explain the reason for being late after you arrive to contact nothing. Your client that will take care of themselves for a short period of time. Contact your agency, man. For sure, for sure. In the care plan, what does the client's DNO status refer to? Uh, that is this right here. That's the client's end of life wishes. End of life wishes, cause if they can die, and you know what I'm saying, they can have a heart attack, cardiac arrest, anything, you know what I'm saying, anything cardiac arrest, anything, dying of natural causes or something like that. And on a chart when you come in there, you know what I'm saying, when you look at their chart before you give them CPR or anything like that, they'll have DNR in parentheses on their chart. You know what I'm saying, which means do not revive. You know what I'm saying? Do not revive. So you don't have to give them CPR or nothing. You know what I mean? Because they just ready to roll. Hmm. 81%. Sweet. I passed with an 81%, baby. 81%. Yeah, you had to have an 80 to pass it. I passed 81. Yeah, you had to have an 80. I got an 81. Yeah, I got an 81, baby. That was good shit right there, man. You know, I say that was good shit right there. You know, 11 more courses to do. Got 11 more courses to do. Huh? I got you. It's 2 packs. I bought 2 packs. You hear me? I know. It, it's all right, baby. It's all right, baby. All right, safety precautions and falls prevention, part two.
In this lesson, we will talk about medical issues that frequently contribute to falling. You know that older adults can have many medical problems, such as arthritis or dementia. But did you also know that many of these same medical problems can cause or contribute to falls? Let's discuss some of the biggest medical contributors to falling. Medications. Medical illnesses can lead to falls, but often the medications that a person takes to manage these, often chronic illnesses, can also increase the risk of falling. Being on 4 or more medications puts an individual at much greater risk of falling.
Damn.
The risk of falls is generally greatest in the first days or weeks after starting a new medication or increasing the dose of an existing medication. This holds true for
Wow.
over-the-counter medications too, not just prescription
Hold on,
medications.
man. It's crazy.
What you can do.
Hey, baby. So just be careful, okay? And I gotta be careful. I gotta make sure I'm watching you about right about now because you just got an increase in that medicine. Yeah, it just said that. I'm watching the part about falls. Hold up, chat. Give me a second. Yeah, but that's what it said though. I'm back, chat. Let's get it.
Take a look at their medicine list. If they are on more than 4 medications, including ones they take over the counter and not just prescription medications, and they haven't seen their doctor recently for a medication review, you may wish to suggest a visit. Be extra watchful anytime the older adult starts a new medication or increases the dose of one they already take. Some medications are more likely to cause falls than others. In particular, sleeping pills, anxiety medications, antipsychotics, some types of antidepressants, and blood pressure pills. If possible, discuss this with the older adult and contact their doctor to review these medications and determine if they are still needed. It could be that the medicines were needed at one time but could now be safely discontinued. It is important to never stop or start any medication without first discussing it with their doctor. Memory problems. With mild to moderate memory problems, people may have an increased risk of falls because of an impaired ability to recognize and use common objects, for example, their cane or walker, and poor decision making or overestimating their abilities. Dementia is a brain disease that causes permanent decline in an individual's ability to remember, reason, and manage their life. It begins with minor memory impairments, but is a slowly progressive, irreversible disease and is ultimately a terminal illness. At the end stages of dementia, there is severe physical impairment when people lose the ability to walk, talk, and eat. They often become incontinent of urine and stool. All of these factors drastically increase the chances that a person will fall. An older adult with confusion and behavior problems can be very difficult and frustrating for a caregiver. No matter how stressful, though, never use restraints or ties. Although you might think that tying the older adult's arms to their bed or chair would keep them from falling, studies have shown that people actually are more likely to get injured when using restraints. They become more restless and agitated and may even injure themselves. Just think about what you would do if you were being restrained. You'd try to break out. Restraints can also be considered a form of abuse, so avoid using them.
Just trying to think what you would do if you was restrained.
Incontinence of bladder can also contribute to falls.
Yeah, motherfucking yeah.
When someone feels a sense of urgency because they have to relieve themselves, they tend to walk briskly rather than carefully. This increases the chance that they're going to fall. What you can do: limit caffeine intake. Caffeine irritates the bladder and is a diuretic. It is found in coffee, tea, milk chocolate, and in many sodas. See if the older adult would consider switching to herbal tea. Even a little caffeine in the morning can lead to the need for frequent urination at night for an older adult. Make sure they have adequate fluid intake, preferably water, in the daytime. The elder's doctor can help guide exactly how much they need. Time toileting. Encourage the elder to go to the bathroom regularly. Start with every 2 hours during the daytime to keep the bladder empty and so prevent accidents. When frequent urination at night is a problem, discourage any fluids after 6 p.m. except sips of water with any medications. For men, you might want to leave a urinal near the bedside to avoid frequent bathroom trips. Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease causes issues with balance, especially when changing positions. For example, going from sitting to standing or starting and stopping walking. People with Parkinson's have stiff arms and legs, and so they are not able to correct their posture if they slip or trip. Older adults with Parkinson's also frequently have problems with sleep and may have auditory and visual hallucinations, meaning they may see or hear things that are not there. This can cause the older adult to try to walk or get out of bed unsafely and without help, and could result in a fall. Individuals with Parkinson's disease also sometimes have memory problems or dementia, which we just discussed. Strokes. Strokes happen when the brain suffers an injury. They can cause significant mental and physical impairment, resulting in paralysis of the arms and legs, difficulty with speech, and difficulty with understanding what other people are saying. Sometimes a person who has suffered the stroke and has some decreased strength may overestimate their own abilities and independence, which increases their chances of falls. Arthritis. As we age, it is not uncommon for our joints to suffer from wear and tear. This can cause deformities and often pain, which can lead the person to refrain from physical activity. Inactive or sedentary lifestyles lead to a higher chance of falls. This results in decreased muscle strength, which then increases risk of falls even more. What you can do. Exercising is important, so consult a physical therapist about incorporating exercises during the day to keep the older adult active while they're under your care. Discuss with the older client or notify their doctor if you feel pain is undertreated. Vision impairment. Individuals with visual impairment find dark rooms or low-lit rooms particularly challenging. Cataracts are the most common reason for visual impairment in older adults. What you can do. Encourage the older adult to make an appointment with an eye doctor if you sense that they are having vision problems. New glasses might need to be prescribed. If cataracts exist, discuss with the doctor about getting them removed. Studies show that removing the first cataract decreases the risk of falls. Diabetes. People with diabetes can fall for a number of reasons. Their blood sugar may be dropping too low. They may have neuropathy, which results in numbness in their legs and poor balance. What you can do. Help them check their blood sugar using the method that their doctor recommends, and be particularly concerned about sugar levels that are too low. People with neuropathy should be extra careful to wear sturdy, supportive footwear, even in the house.
She wouldn't take care of herself. She had died.
Low vitamin D. 80% of people over the age of 65 have vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is very important for bone and muscle health. The bodies of older people produce less vitamin D. In addition, many frail older adults, especially those who already have trouble walking around, tend to stay indoors. As a result of this lack of exposure to sunlight, particularly in the winter, they have low vitamin D levels, which increases their risk of falling even more. What you can do. Very important for bone and muscle health. The bodies of older people about sugar levels that are too low. People with neuropathy should be extra careful to wear sturdy, supportive footwear, even in the house. Low vitamin D. 80% of people over the age of 65 have vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is very important for bone and muscle health. The bodies of older people produce less vitamin D. In addition, many frail older adults, especially those who already have trouble walking around, tend to stay indoors. As a result of this lack of exposure to sunlight, particularly in the winter, they have low vitamin D levels, which increases their risk of falling even more. What you can do. Take the older adult outside for a few minutes every day to give them regular exposure to sunlight. 20 minutes should be fine. We don't want to increase their risk for skin cancer. Increase their dietary intake of vitamin D from foods such as fatty fish like salmon and tuna, and milk, juice, or yogurt that has been fortified with vitamin D. Check with the elder's primary care doctor to see if a vitamin D supplement would be appropriate. Dehydration. It is very easy for older adults to experience dehydration. Older adults' bodies tend to get rid of fluids faster than can be replenished. Dehydration can cause a drop in blood pressure, and the resulting lightheadedness can then cause a fall. What can you do? Encourage the older adult to have a glass of water in the morning after they wake up and during each meal. This ensures that they stay well hydrated without causing more frequent urination and incontinence.
This up real quick. Let me look at that table. Let's see. Follow the tips in the table below and on the next page for inclining any of the conditions list. The table lists 7 medical conditions total. We suggest you use the tips along with any other instructions. The other older adults doctor has provided medications in cognitive diabetes. Oh, okay, yeah. The 7 that we just did. All right, bet. Yeah. Low vitamin D, dehydration. Amount of water that the body needs to function properly. Make a daily routine for the older adult for drinking a glass of water in the morning after he or she wakes up and also during each meal. Okay, bet. Seizures. Okay. Run carefully on how serious to protect them from harm until they are fully conscious. Again, and until that word. If the person has never had seizure before, tell them make sure with their hands so they place it on the glove. While the person moves forward, place her foot on the soft one and loosen and pull around that mutual rotation. Then two more sides to ground and fools away from the thumb. Mm. Don't try to restrain. I gotta get some glasses. Jerk them off. Leave me shine. Come. Remove gloves and discard. Washing. Report. And document how long the seizure lasts. Mr. Fleck. Are to be expected as the person ages. However, even if they're calm, they can still be very difficult to do. Sometimes alrighty. That's a false position. Let's get it.
It is important for older adults to exercise regularly. Activities like walking and swimming have immense health benefits, such as improving mobility and making life more enjoyable. But exercises specifically for preventing falls should also be performed. Balance training is the fundamental aspect of any falls prevention exercise program. Exercises focusing on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility and endurance are also important. Exercises should become more challenging over time. In most communities, there are numerous classes for improving balance found at senior centers, Jewish community centers, YMCAs, and health clubs. Tai Chi has been shown in many research studies to prevent falls and injuries from falls. Tai Chi includes balance, strengthening, and flexibility exercises. There are also many exercises you can encourage the elder to do at home. including standing with one foot in front of the other, walking heel to toe, standing on one foot, shifting weight in various directions, try sitting and standing up without using your hands.
Damn gum got my mouth tired. Shit.
One thing you can do if you're concerned about the elder's balance or muscle strength is ask for a physical therapy evaluation. A physical therapist can show you and the elder exercise programs that can be done at home to help with balance, strength, and coordination training. They can help decide if the elder could benefit from a gait aid, such as a cane or walker. Often when people fall, they become very nervous and fear falling afterwards. A physical therapist can help get the person back on their feet and get their confidence back. The person's doctor or a local home care office can usually find and refer you to a physical therapist. If you are still concerned about factors in the home that increase risk of falling, you can suggest that the older adult have a home safety evaluation. The purpose of this evaluation is to focus on how well a person can function in their home and perform daily activities with a minimal risk of falls. Usually, an occupational therapist is the person who does these evaluations. The person's doctor or a local home care office can usually find and refer you to an occupational therapist. Falls specialist. Start with a primary care doctor, but a geriatric medicine specialist or a physical medicine and rehabilitation specialist are also amazing resources. Many hospitals also have falls clinics, which have teams of medical staff to evaluate elders and reduce their risk of falls. Take the older adults for a doctor's visit if they are over the age of 70 and have either fallen twice in the last year or have fallen once and suffered an injury that required medical care. Many hospitals have falls clinics where the person can be checked into to help them prevent future falls. Any medical concerns that you have about the older person should be talked about with their doctor. There are, however, some things that you can be on the lookout for and bring to the attention of the older person and their doctor if you are concerned. This really helps both the older person and the doctor. You can work as an advocate for the older adult and be the first to help identify medical issues that could lead to falls. Consider getting the older adult a medical alert device as a safety precaution and to give you both peace of mind. Tell them that even though they are okay now, you're worried about their future safety if they were to fall and injure themselves with no one around to help.
adult may become verbally abusive or combative, particularly if they have cognitive impairment. Here are 3 key tips to help you manage these very stressful situations. Don't use force because it often backfires, and don't use physical restraints indiscriminately. Stay calm, quiet, and rational. If you allow the person to verbally express their anger, you may avoid the possibility of physical violence. Remember that the person who is acting aggressively is not doing so to harm you. They are trying to protect themselves. Don't give them another reason to feel threatened. Act calmly and composed, even if you don't feel that way. Never shout or yell or try to grab or hold the older adult. This will only escalate the situation. When an older adult is out of control, your primary concern is safety. Remember, violent behavior is usually not planned and not under their control. To help make sure that everyone is safe, you should get something such as a table between you and the aggressive older adult. Try to get any potential weapons out of reach. Call for extra help if you need it. If you are a family caregiver, inform the older adult's healthcare provider about the situation. If you are a professional caregiver, tell your supervisor. If you feel threatened in the moment, call 911.
Got nasty. Shouldn't have powed that shit. slow. All right, there we go. Which one of the following is sound in the middle of the host whose house get acting aggressive attack by a client. Their supervisor. All right, man. Let me get to the next one. Let me start the next one. Let's on to the next one. Man, these motherfuckers long. All right. All right, let's see here. Let me see where I'm at. We taking this. Let's see. We're gonna earn 23 minutes. We're gonna take this later on today. Boom. And gonna break for a minute, make sure everything is okay with the wifey and stuff like that, y'all. Give me 1 second. Like that. And then we're gonna start the new one for the game.